So speaking of dangerous, what's this Huawei P30 that you have written down here
Yeah,
leaked?
so dangerous, the P30.
Well, the Huawei might be dangerous. I mean, we've had a few podcasts going over how they could be spying on you.
Yes, and there will be an update I saw today, so I look forward to that. So let's talk about what's coming out before we get into the stuff that may be a little bit more political. So the P30 and the P30 Pro, which is Huawei's flagship phones that they release every year. So last year they did the P20 and the P20 Pro. The P30 and 30 Pro are to be released on March 26th, so we're coming within a couple of weeks, and it's going to happen in Paris. However, what's interesting, of course, it's leak season just before all the phones are released, and sometimes they're on purpose, sometimes they're not. But this one shows that the P30 Pro's triple camera setup is going to have a 7.8 times zoom.
Sweet.
That's awesome. So the P20 Pro from last year actually had a 3 times zoom. I was able to use it, and I was blown away because one of my biggest complaints about doing photography with a cell phone is the lack of the ability to zoom.
What kind of
And
things are you zooming in on, Matt?
uh, spies.
Spying on the neighbors.
I'm trying to see what
Zoom.
spies are still up there.
This 7 times zoom will help me see things better
7.8.
across the street.
Yeah, I have caught my neighbor watching some things he probably shouldn't have with the window open.
That's funny.
Yeah, so anyways, that's pretty exciting. 7.8 times zoom. And then the P30 is also going to get a zoom, and it's going to get 4.7 times zoom. So even the P30, which isn't the flagship, the best of the cameras that Huawei will still blow anything out of the water that has currently been released as far as zoom. In fact, Samsung, I think, is maxed out right now at 2 times zoom, optical zoom. And even on their new phones, the S10s that they recently released, I don't think they do any better than times 2. So fantastic. 7.8,
My
4.7.
gosh. Well,
Absolutely.
I'd like to see if it's grainy though. You know how sometimes you do a little zoom and it's grain city.
Well, that's usually from the digital zoom, so you would think that the optical zoom shouldn't be grainy. And if they can combine that with what Google's doing on the Pixel 3, where it's like that enhance function where they take your shaky hand and grab the pixels and kind of fill in the dots. I mean, let's combine hardware with software and make it awesome. Let's do that.
So I was actually wishing that I had a Google Pixel on the weekend. I went with some Canadians up on a rooftop restaurant in downtown LA, and
Ah,
it was nighttime, and I thought, oh, this is perfect to make an Instagram story. And I pulled out my iPhone SE
yeah.
and tried to do a little video of the rooftops around me.
Mhm.
Nothing. It was
Really?
awful.
Oh,
And
because it doesn't have night mode.
it does not have night mode, and a girl next to me pulled out her iPhone 10, and it was way more gorgeous on her phone than on mine. And I think the Pixel XL would be even better.
It's so true. Pixels, it's really they don't have the best as far as hardware goes. I think Huawei's got like the best cameras as far as hardware, but Pixels they have focused on that software, especially around cameras, and it people are calling it voodoo and witchcraft. You just can't beat the night mode that they've got. So come on, next Pixel. I know you're doing amazing things with just one camera, but can we upgrade it to two?
Or
Everybody
three,
else is doing three, four, six. Like,
honeycomb style. Yep.
yeah, like let's just make the best hardware, mix that with the best software, and let's have the best camera phone experience. Let's do that.
Let's do it.